But Diddy has hit on me at Steve Rifkin house.
What was
And
your,
everybody at the house was gay, but I didn't know it.
why you think?
Ringo TV. Ringo TV.
Yeah. True man, I'm free, I wake up a new episode. I pop out clean and skip me up a level though. She talk to me like I'm not me, I get it though. Yeah. I'm so eclectic, on me to the credits roll. Talk down to me, they might have to send medical. I'm out the league, I'm OD, they pathetic though. Look how I move, I'm protected. Shawty so swoon in my presence. The world going through it outside, they unruly, but I keep it cool, they can't press me. I keep it pure with intention. They see what I'm on, ain't no vixen. I might like do it that top down. I keep it tuned with a high power. Put it on me, I'm blessed. Young nigga blessed. Big bag, manifest the sky, no stress. Keep no evil around me, can't ground me. I built it since when I had less. No hex on, God can't pause, nigga, look at how far we progress. Whatever we doing, we keeping it fluid, I don't see a thing about that paper.
Ringo TV.
Young nigga about that paper. 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 Hop on that jet, had to switch to the coast. One of a kind, I've been playing that role. They pay me to play me, I needed it for. It's real if I said I meant what I spoke. I'm legend, it's written, I shake up the city. Spin block till I'm dizzy, won't ever go broke. I'm chose, I must like do it a top down. I keep in tune with a high power. Put it on me, I'm blessed. Young nigga blessed. Big bag, manifest the sky, no stress. Keep no evil around me, can't ground me. I built it since when I had less. No hex on, God can't pause, nigga, look at how far we progress. Whatever we doing, we keeping it fluid. I don't see a thing about that paper.
Ringo TV.
Young nigga about that paper. Young nigga about that paper. Young nigga about that paper. Put it on me, I'm blessed. Big bag, but I fix the sky, no stress. Can't ground me, I know this since when I had less. Look at how far we progress. Fluid, I don't see a threat.
But Diddy has hit on me at Steve Rifkin house.
What was
And
your,
everybody at the house was gay, but I didn't know it.
Welcome to the stream, Ringo TV Reactions. You already don't know what it is. Yeah. Top of the morning, got work to do. We have this video here that we got to pretty much review. Shout out to Choke No Joke. Pretty much he did an interview. I believe it's Comedy Hype. And he talked about some interesting things. And he revealed some things that back in the day when Biggie had dropped that song and did a music video, even from back then when I saw the tapes, there was some questionable things going on, but it's like, back then we didn't really understand like how to react to stuff like that, because you know you're into hip hop, you're into these artists, but man, in this interview it really got me really thinking, because now it all makes sense. Like the agenda is real, bro. So shout out to Choke No Joke for doing this particular interview. Make sure you go support his platform, support his channel, and also Comedy Hype. But let's break this thing down, because a lot of you you're gonna really be like, oh snap, yo, I didn't even know that. Yeah. A lot of these rappers in the industry, man, they already done been compromised. Now I know a lot of you're fans of, you know, the Busters, the this, the that, all of that stuff. But a lot of these rappers, they had to go through the door. They had to make the choice in order to get the check. Now, what the brother's gonna explain is how Diddy tried to hit on him. And this is not even new. This is something that is common in the industry. A lot of executives, this is what they do to men. Primarily, they want men. You could walk into the party with a fine woman and she could be banging. They don't want her. Nah, they want you. Yeah. It's something about a man that make these cats really get turned on. Yeah. Especially like you're more street, like more of a thug, or they want to break you in. The more thug and the more gangster you are, the more they want to hear you rap, but in a different tone, if you know what I mean. They want you to sing Mona Lisa, if you know what I mean. So let's get into these tapes. Let's find out what's going on. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if you rock with the platform. Let's get to the tapes.
He has hit on me at Steve Rifkin's house.
What was
And
your,
everybody at the house was gay, but I didn't know it.
why you think so many bad boy artists went broke with Diddy? Or after?
Well, you got to remember, this is Diddy career really started like 91, 92. A lot of us wasn't even educated about the music business then. You know what I'm saying? And then you got to think, even the Locks, they was kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Mace was a kid. You look back at Biggie and Tupac right now, they died at 25.
Right.
They, to us now, they look like kids, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people got robbed because they didn't know the business. A lot of people with Bad Boy succumbed to the dark side of the.
A lot of people at Bad Boy succumb to the dark side. The dark side. Let's talk about it. I told you in various videos that if you want to be a rapper, if you think you got talent and you want to go into the industry talking about, well, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to represent the streets, I'm from the trenches. No, you're going to be taking pipe, bro. I'm sorry to give you the bad news. The only way you could really make it in the industry, you got to be fully independent. That's the only way. And you could do that through social media. I mean, social media, there's so much power that you have, but most ninjas from the block, they lazy. Let's just call it what it is. A lot of our people lazy, man. They don't want to put in the work. They want that fast cash. They want to just walk through the door. Well, you walk through the door, you're going to be introduced to a pipe. That's just the way it is. It doesn't matter how street you are. It doesn't matter if you just came out of the pen. You're going to have to sit on that director's couch. That's right. And Diddy is known for stuff like this. A lot of people, when they get around him, they get nervous because they don't know if Diddy is there for business or he there for pleasure. Bars. They don't know. So they get nervous. Like, we got some other video clips we got to review where you saw Diddy, I guess he was in a clip and he was with Travis Scott. And he put his arm around Travis and was like, yo, you know, so-and-so and so. And you could tell that Travis got uncomfortable. Now, I don't know what happened later on in the trailers, but with the way Diddy approached Travis, it's almost like we gonna sleep later on. Like, it was one of them things, and Travis ran off out of fear for his life or fear for the pipe. I don't know which one it was, but at the end of the day, this is what goes down in the industry. And a lot of rappers had to endure this. Let's go.
Even educated about the music business then. You know what I'm saying? And then you got to think, even the Locks, they was kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Mace was a kid. You look back at Biggie and Tupac right now, they died at 25.
Right.
They, to us now, they look like kids, right?
Yeah.
You saw what they did with Pac, with that tub, with the chains. Y'all remember that clip? Thug life, right? Thug life, but they got you with your laying in a tub, naked. There's nothing thug about that, fam. That's how they start getting you. They start making these, what you call them people, them people that dress you up, stylists. I don't know what they call them, stylists, right? Them folks that dress the artists up, they start sizing you up. Like you'll have the stylist, they be down there on their knees right in front of your wood. Like you'll be standing up and the stylist's face be all next to your pipe. And he talking about he fixing your belt. And he's looking up at you smiling. These are little tests they give you. You get what I'm saying? Or you go to the tailor, the stylist, the tailor, and he's sizing you up with the measuring tape. And he putting it around your waist and he's holding and he's touching you in certain ways. This is where they get you. This is where they start to what's that? They start to groom you. You thinking it's all about style and fashion. But no. They're doing recon on your butt. They're doing recon to see how far you would let them go. They'll start putting their hand on your waist and touching you here. And when they don't see you flinch, when they don't see you move, then they say to themselves, okay, let's go to the next level. Let's put them in these compromising photo shoots. Cause, we're going to be shooting for a magazine. So, we need for you to pose like this. We need for you to bend over. And when you don't protest and you don't say nothing, they say, okay, let's go to the next level. Since he letting us touch him, since he letting us touch his waist, since he's letting us put him in compromising photos, let's invite him to the parties. We groomed him enough to make him come to the hot parties, the freak parties. So now you at the party. All of the executives is there. They invite you into a room. People start putting their hand around you. They start touching you. But you've been used to getting touched the whole time. You've been used to having faces between your legs while they zip your zipper up. In the dressing room, you've been accustomed to men rubbing your shoulders because they got to put the oil on for the photo shoot. So you've been groomed for people to touch you. So now that you at the parties, it's not really much of a problem of people touching you. Do you get what I mean? So now they got you in a compromising position where you need the money. You got a family to take care of. You got bills to pay. So what are you going to do? Talk about I'm going home? You're going to stay at the party. You're already uncomfortable, but you're like, look, I'm already in. You mad uncomfortable, but guess what? You got to stay. You got to stay there now. You got all these people around you asking you questions. Things is moving real fast. People passing drinks to you. Passing smokes to you. Now you high. Now you high. Now you wake up in the morning, you in a bed. You're like, what the heck? Your pants is down. What? This is what these artists been through. A lot of them. And they can't say nothing. This is why when they raided Diddy's crib, they were able to find the tapes. They were able to find the tapes of the freak parties, the lotion and the oil and the lube. Why would a man need 1,000+ lube and lotion and oil? For what? To put on the men. That's what they were doing. So what you hearing here is real. A lot of stuff goes down in these streets, man. Especially in the early 90s, man. A lot of dirt was going down because nobody was really able to report these type of things, especially on social media. Like nobody was like, it was just the early 90s. Social media wasn't even popping. It wasn't even a thing of, I'm gonna go tell my story. All you had was magazines. And rappers wanted to be on the front cover of a magazine. That was every rapper's goal. Anyway, let's get back to the tapes.
Dude, a lot of us wasn't even educated about the music business then. You know what I'm saying? And then you got to think, even the Locks, they was kids. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mace was a kid. If you look back at Biggie and Tupac right now, they died at 25.
Right.
they, to us
Still,
now, they look like kids, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people got robbed because they didn't know the business. A lot of people with Bad Boy succumb to the dark side of the industry, right? The same stuff that Diddy's, they alleging now with the parties, the drugs, the sex.
Right.
A lot of people fell victim to that, right? Because that was their lifestyle. Now, when we was younger, we wasn't paying attention. But if you go and you look at the Big Papa video.
Before we even start with that, fam, brace yourself. Again, shout out to Choke No Joke, because when they showed the clip, it brought back the memory of the video and how when we were all younger, you know, we would watch these videos and we would just be entertained by the songs. We weren't really peeping what was happening right in front of us, but you have to understand something about the mind and how they program us. You are being programmed whether you believe you are or not. That's why they say image is everything. Through video, audio, it shapes your mind because your eyes is a window to the soul. And your eye gate is a camera. Your mind is trying to comprehend what's going on around you, but your eyes is constantly recording everything it sees. So when you watch things on TV, you are being indoctrinated and you're being programmed by images and you don't even realize it. What he's about to explain right here is going to open your eyes, and a lot of you are gonna be like, oh, snap. Yo, I watched that video 1,000 times. I ain't see that. I didn't even know that. See, when that video was done back in the days, I saw these little questionable things, but it's like, I don't know what it is. It's like, we just didn't question things back then. But it was right in our face where we was just like, okay, it's just a video. Because it went past the mind, because it went through the eye. The eye recorded it, but the mind didn't comprehend what was happening in front of us. But it was stuck in our mind. So what they were trying to do is program us with these tendencies. Oh man, tendencies. The rainbow tendency, that is. And this video is just one of many. Ain't no telling how many other videos we watched and we've been programmed on the low key. Now check this out. Check out the breakdown.
Their lifestyle. Now, when we was younger, we wasn't paying attention. But if you go and you look at the Big Papa video, the lead woman or the lead guy in that is a transgender.
Did you catch that, guys? Did you catch that? Did you peep that? So, in this particular rap song that we all love, none of y'all can say y'all didn't like the song. Everybody loved Biggie. But peep what he's saying. Check it out. Let's rewind that back.
We wasn't paying attention. But if you go and you look at the Big Papa video, the lead woman or the lead guy in that is a transgender, right?
I'm gonna look it up as you say that.
Yeah, you can.
So you more so, and we could be somewhat candid. You more so just alluding to like the accusations of Diddy being like into homosexual lifestyles.
Yeah.
That energy of hip hop that.
Are you peeping it? Are you getting what's going on here? So what Choke No Joke is trying to establish here is there's a history of where Diddy come from. Now, what he do in his private time is personal business, right? But what he's trying to show you is how the culture the hip hop culture was invaded, and they used people like Diddy to push this on the youth subliminally. But it gets worse. It gets really worse in the music video. Because again, when we were all younger and we watched these videos, it was all fun and games, but we were all getting indoctrinated into this culture. Let's roll the tapes. Tapes don't lie.
Always been seen as taboo, and we could never verify it because none of us were on the inside.
Right. Well, I was.
But I was gonna say, I was gonna ask you, so you've seen this firsthand.
Yeah, I've never seen like orgy, but Diddy has hit on me at Steve Rifkin's house.
Wow.
And everybody at the house was gay, but I didn't know it until I really paid attention and looked around at my surroundings. I'm like, oh, shit.
Right.
Are y'all getting this, bro? Imagine going to a party, fam. Imagine this. You get invited to a party. You know what I mean? It's in the 90s. You know, the 90s was popping. Everybody know that. The 90s was like the best time in history, fam. Especially in New York, right? You get invited to a party, you all dressed up. You ready to see the ladies, you know, you doing business. You go to a party and the men are hitting on you. Now, what do? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's gonna be a shock to a lot of people. And I'm telling you, back in the days, it was different, man, because a lot of rappers wanted to get in the industry and they were doing anything they can to get through that door, man. That's all you knew. That's all you had. You came from poverty. You ain't had no money. All you doing is eating oodles and noodles and Chinese food every night. That's your life in the hood. So you can finally get your break. You get to go to these parties. You start seeing stuff. You're like, oh, snap. Now, some people was able to see the darkness and escape the industry. Not everybody that walked through those doors got touched, but they definitely had experiences where they're able to tell the tale story of what goes on the inside. Whether you got approached, whether somebody tried to give you a contract, whether somebody tried to work out a deal with you and you had to pull down your pants, or they flirt with you. You know what I mean? You had to endure that. And it's like you couldn't even tell nobody because it's like, who do you trust now? Like, how do you tell your mans and them in the 90s, yo, I went to this party, or I went here and so was acting funny. Like, you couldn't even speak these things back then. You couldn't even utter these words. There was no words to explain this because you didn't want it to get back and people start looking at you funny, and it was just a weird experience. So it is what it is. Let's get back to these tapes. Wind it back.
House.
What was
And everybody at the house was gay, but I didn't know it until I really paid attention and looked around at my surroundings. I'm like, oh, shit.
Right.
Like, what's going on?
That sounds like Exhibit's story, because Exhibit had a story like that. They went to Miami.
No, but he went to a club.
Right.
I went to Steve Rifkin's house.
Right.
It was after a BET Awards, we went to an after party.
Right.
Me, Lil Kim, Hillary Weston, who was Lil Kim's manager.
Okay.
At the time. And we go to the after party, we run into Diddy, and Diddy tells us to come meet him he tells them, not me. He tells Kim and them, yo, come meet me at Steve Rifkin's house. And we all go over to Steve Rifkin's house. And while we there, there was another executive that had been making passes at me a lot in the entertainment industry. He shows up.
For context, what does that look like? Because they're not gonna be that bold, are they?
What do you mean?
Is it like, you know how if you shoot a shot at a woman, it could be either very direct or very subtle?
It's very direct.
Very direct. This is what I've been trying to teach y'all for a long time, man. Like, these guys, man, when they tell their stories, right, you got to really pay attention to what's happening here, because it's no different than if a dude is trying to shoot his shot at a woman and he approached the woman a certain way. Just the approach alone, before they even speak, just the posture of how they stand tell you what's going on. So when he say what he's saying here, it's real. This is what goes down. And there's a lot of things that go through your mind, like should I punch this person in the face? If I do that, it's gonna mess this up. If I do that, there's so many different things that go, so you try to calm down and evaluate the situation on how to handle it. Because when one thing is transpiring in front of you, there's other people on the sidelines watching. And that's basically what he's showing you. Like, he's going through these experiences, but then he started learning everybody's in on the same thing. So it's not just an isolated situation with this one person. Everybody in here is on that frequency. So it ain't like nobody gonna hear you. It ain't like you can explain something to everybody. You just gotta play your cards right and hopefully make it out of that situation. Let's get back to the tapes. Tapes don't lie.
There was another executive that been making passes at me a lot in the entertainment industry. He shows up.
For context, what does that look like? Because they're not gonna be that bold, are they?
What do you mean?
Is it like, you know how if you shoot a shot at a woman, it could be either very direct or very subtle?
It's very direct. Okay. Not trying to grab a nigga nuts, but you know when someone is attracted to you, male, female. Okay. I don't give a f- is a dog and he humping on your leg. Right. You know the motherfucker horny. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So, it was definitely obvious. Like, you know what I'm saying? Especially in hindsight. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So that lifestyle exists within the industry. Right.
We've heard it, and
it's a fact, brother. It's a fact. From sports players, singers, actors, comedians, white, black, Asian, it don't matter.
So, because that's a whole conversation you just said, even with the Diddy story.
Now, a lot of times we want to hear names. We want to hear names dropped, stuff like that, right? But at the same time, there's a time and a place for names. There's a time and a place where you can expose the devil and who's who. It's just that certain things, you just got to know how to move. If that makes sense. Like you gotta be wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove. Like there's certain things you can know, but you got to know how to move. So I understand a lot of times you want people to say names like, okay, who was this person? Who was that person? Well, you got to really know how to move before you start speaking. You got to be prepared for the consequences that come with that. This is why you have people that they're no longer here. This is why Biggie not here. It's why Tupac not here. It's why a lot of rappers are not here right now, because at the end of the day, certain people try to talk about certain things. Now they not here no more. Like the industry is really sick. And there's a lot of people that get lined up and set up just because they spoke at the wrong time. Now, if you got bank, if you got an army, and you're willing to risk it all, then go ahead and do all of that. But if you're a person that got kids, you're a person that got a lot to lose, you got to know how to move, and you have to know how to tell your story in a way where it's not going to open up other doors, where you got to be looking around. You got to know how to move wisely. Because a lot of times from the outside looking in, especially when you're looking at content, you want people to say this or you want people to say that. Sounds good. But you're not the one that got to go to sleep at night and be concerned about who's coming for you. All you do is get to watch the video. Whereas other people, their lives is on the line. You get it? Like it's really that serious. Think about all the people that had hits put out on them by Diddy. Think about all the women that feared for their lives. Think about the beatings. Think about that. Think about people that were homeless because they didn't do what Diddy wanted. And he stopped making payments. These people were on the streets. And then they had to comply with his wishes, all because they crossed that line. So what you should be learning from this, if anything, is how the industry is and how dirty it is. Because it's all coming out now. Cat Williams was right. Think about this, fam. All of 2024, it been nothing but exposed. Everybody been getting exposed, left and right. Nobody's safe. It's all coming out. It's all coming out. And 2024 is not over yet. So there's a lot more expose that's going on. A whole lot more. So wind it back.
Lifestyle exists within the industry, right?
We've heard it, and
It's a fact, brother. It's a fact. From sports players, singers, actors.
Notice what he said about sports players. Sports players. D Wade, anybody? Do I need to explain anymore? All I got to say is D Wade. And the rest is history. That's the agenda, fam. Wake up and smell the coffee. Let's go.
There's comedians, white, black, Asian. It don't matter.
So, because that's a whole conversation you just said, even with the Diddy story. Are you like, how do you respond to that when he makes a pass at you? You play it off?
You
laugh?
You
be
treat,
like, I'm cool?
For me, at this stage in my life, I'm more mature than to punch a nigga in his face, right? So you just ignore it and, you kind of give him the look like, nah. And giving that nigga the look made him just look hard and made me put my head down. Because he got 5 niggas standing around him. They like the whole booty mob. And
Do you see what I told you? Didn't I just say that? Didn't I just tell you that if you at this party and the dudes is doing recon on your booty and they're literally watching you up and down, you just can't flip out and punch somebody in the face because all the other cats that's up in there, they on that same frequency. They not just gonna let that slide. So you gotta know how to move so that you can get up on out of there safe. You're already in there, right? So you gotta know how to move. And a lot of them are anticipating you acting the fool. So you gotta think, you gotta be a 2 steps ahead of the game. You gotta anticipate what's coming next and make your move wisely so you can get out of there. Because if they feel that you're on to what they're doing, then it could be a dangerous situation. A lot of times when you think about the rainbow or the agenda, you think that, oh, well, I'm gonna be able to get out of this situation. I'm a masculine man, I'm this, I'm that. Nah. You don't understand, man. This Diddy situation, the sex trafficking, this type of organization have been happening way back then. This is not new. And there's a lot of key players involved. That's why I'm saying Diddy is not the only one that's gonna be going down. There's a lot of other names. You got pastors, you got bishops, you got lawyers, high profile individuals that you would never think would be involved in all of these situations. Imagine if tapes and different audio come out with TD Jakes, y'all. Now, I already know TD Jakes is a false prophet, a pulpit pimping, pork chop eating pastor that literally just love fleecing the flock for all their money. We already know he a false prophet. But at the end of the day, TD Snakes is loved by many people around the world. But eventually, you may end up seeing audio tapes and videotapes of Jakes doing unthinkable things. The pastor, the man of God, the man who teach and preach Jesus. You might end up seeing him on a tape taking wood. It'll shock the world. But I wouldn't be surprised because you already done know what is done in the dark is gonna come to the light. Because that's what these pastors is all about out in the world. They're not about saving souls. They're not about preaching the gospel. They're about making money. So when you see people like Jakes and Diddy dapping up and hugging up in video clips, you already know what it is. That ain't just a one-time situation. Nah, those brothers are close, very close. And it's gonna all come out. Let's get back to the tapes.
Let him to look like, nah. And giving that nigga the look made him just look hard and made me put my head down. Because he got 5 niggas standing around him. They like the whole booty mob and shit, right? And I was sitting there like, what the hell? I would grab Hillary by her shirt and I drag her ass outside. Like, yo, this nigga over here on me. Like, yo, don't bring me to nothing like this. And then when I'm not gonna name all the people that was there. Now I talked about this before, but I'm not gonna do that, right? But everybody that was there was either gay or secretly gay or bisexual. But right now, from what I know now, and I say, they all get down like that, right?
You see? See, he had to learn as he go. And when he started to realize this, he's looking at that like everybody up in here is on the same frequency. There's nothing but much you can do in a situation like that. Like, what do you do in a situation like that? Tell the person right there, like, yo, you know, so-and-so just tried to hit on me, man. Yo, he bugging, bro. And then the person you telling, that's his cousin or his business partner. It's not gonna be too good for you, man. Let's go.
Right.
And me hanging with them, they could have thought that because I was hanging with Lil' Kim, that maybe I would be with that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to knock them for trying. You know what I'm saying? Because all these 75%, 85% of these people that's in the industry that's popular, you know what I'm saying?
Notice the number he just said. Y'all better pay attention. I've been trying to tell y'all, listen.
Have succumbed to that lifestyle.
My question for that, and then we can kind of do a spin move out of it. Because I'm always curious about, was it already in them or was it does the industry groom them to be open to it?
Notice he just said the word groom. Remember I said that at the beginning. Groom. I told you, listen to me very carefully, you brothers, especially you brothers, because the ladies, they're going to get you regardless. They're going to turn you out in the industry. But for you brothers, it starts off like this, fam. You go in to do the photo shoots, so they got to dress you up. And I know this is how it was back in the day, right? You got the stylists. They're like, well, these jeans will look right on you. You know what I mean? They'll tell you, hey, you know what I mean, on the dresser room. So you go in there, you figure it's all business. And, you know, stylist is there. You know, you in your underwear because you getting dressed. You coming in and out with pants and all this other stuff. They watching you. And you probably got like 3 people there. Whatever the case is, you thinking it's all business, but it's not. It's grooming process. You know? They sizing you up. They watching you. They're taking measurements with measuring tapes, trying to make sure the clothes fit you the right way. Because a lot of folks don't understand is that in the industry, this is just real talk. This ain't no cap. In the industry, folks from the rainbow, they specialize in the fashion, in the culture, right? This is why when you look at a lot of these rappers in today's day, you look at them, they wearing purses, blouse, skirts, you know, handkerchiefs and various other feminine attire. And you're wondering who's styling them, right? So now the grooming starts with how they fit clothes on you, measure you, and they're touching you while they're doing this. Now, you all know as a man, when you hollering at a woman, let's say there's a particular sister you trying to holler, you got to break the touch barrier, which means you just can't talk to a woman and she's over there and you over here. No, you gotta come around her and touch her. She need to feel your touch. She need to get accustomed to you touching. I'm not talking about you grabbing her, squeezing her butt. I'm not talking about that being disrespectful and crazy. I'm talking about a handshake where you touch her hand. and you touch her in a certain way where it's nice and soft and, you know, very gentle. You hold her by her shoulder. You hold her by her waist a little bit. Little touch here and there and there. You break that touch barrier, she's more comfortable. That's what they do to you in the industry as a man. And once they get comfortable, once you get comfortable, I should say, with them touching you and you're not protesting, you're not saying nothing, you're not pushing people's hands away, they're like, oh, we could do more. And then it goes up a step further. They start touching you a little close to your pipe. You get what I mean? And you know something wrong. In your mind, you know, wait a minute now, you're a little too close. But this is the stylist. So you figure, hey, you know, this is professional. So you know what? Let me not think like that. I don't want to be too quick to judge because they styling me. You know what I mean? But the whole time they testing you. So while he there doing whatever he doing, he's smiling, he's talking to you and asking you personal questions like, so how long you been out here? Wow, all the ladies must really love you. Gassing you up, gaslighting, love bombing you, doing all this stuff, gassing you up. And all of this is a test to see how much you are willing to allow. Then they bring you to the parties. Then they bring you to the meetings. Then they bring you around people that want to touch you, that want to sleep with you. And because they know you really want that deal, you really want to make this money, eventually you're going to be singing on a pipe. You have a lot of people in the industry that done got touched. Look how they did Tevin Campbell. Look how they did all these singers, these young boys that came into the industry. They turned them out, blew their backs out. These young boys haven't been the same since. They came into the industry and they violated them. Legally, these men had to succumb to this kind of abuse because they wanted some money. And it was either you do this or you go back to the projects. A lot of these guys had to do what they had to do. Some of these guys, they protest to the point where it's like, look, I'm not really like that. They said, we know, but you just got to do what you got to do. They said, look, you ain't going to tell nobody, right? Nah, we're not going to tell nobody. We're not going to tell nobody. It's our secret, but these are the dues you got to pay. All right. I'll do it, man. You know what I'm saying? You sure you're going to do it? Yeah, I'm going to do it. So now your voice sound like mine right now, right? When you walk through the door, your voice was like this. But after you come out of that room, now your voice is like this.
You know, y'all ain't gonna tell nobody anything that's going on, right? Cause I really don't want nobody to know. But you know, I'm gonna stay quiet. I ain't gonna tell nobody anything.
I'm just trying to get you out of the game. Y'all don't have to listen to me. Go ask the rappers. They'll tell you. Now, let's get back to the tapes. Break this thing down for you, fam. Make sure you click that like button, subscribe to the channel.
And these people that's in the industry that's popular, you know what I'm saying, have succumbed to that lifestyle.
My question for that, and then we can kind of do a spin move out of it. Because I'm always curious about, was it already in them, or was it does the industry groom them to be open to it?
The industry grooms them to be open to it. Like if we go back to the Big Papa video, right? Why is the lead person out of all the bad bitches in New York City back then, even the women in the video, right? Why was the lead a transgender? Why was there, you remember the scene in the bathroom? Why was there a transgender pissing in the bathroom with the and the guy? You don't
standing
remember?
up, right?
Fam, y'all don't remember that scene, bro? It's all making sense, fam. Y'all ain't peeped that? Wind that back, fam. Check it out.
A transgender. Why was there, you remember the scene in the bathroom? Why was
Check it out. That was the same chick they were all talking to in the club. Come on now. And this was done back in the day. So they were indoctrinating the youth to prepare them for what we see today. This is what was going on.
A transgender pissing in the bathroom with them.
You see that? This is what was going down, fam.
And the guy, you don't
Standing
remember?
up, right?
Yeah. You don't remember there's a woman in the bathroom with klepto, and I can't remember who the other person is. And they looking at the nigga ding ding, and while they standing at the urinal. Like, why is that in there way back then?
Got you. And I just pulled
Now
in
look at the girl go to the scene when Busta's talking to her at the bar, and Big walk up and move the nigga, and then, or when she say true, stop it right there and look at the knot in her throat.
Not the knot in her throat. Tell me all.
You see that? Look.
Talking about this young lady?
You see that, guys? You see that? I'm telling you, man, as much as y'all got much love for Biggie, man, he was compromised too. I told y'all already. Y'all got mad with me when I said Biggie was already compromised. All those rappers is compromised, bruh. I told y'all this. Y'all was hating on me. I told you. They compromised Big. He was already compromised, bro. Yeah, dope rapper, all of that. But he was compromised already, bro. You know, you saw Busta there, so Busta can't escape. He already knew what it was. You can't tell me you a rapper and you didn't know what it was when you were filming. You already knew what it was, and he got a point. Out of all the bad bees in NYC, you would think they would be in the clip. But no, Diddy wanted that. That's the agenda. Do you get it? And you remember in Biggie's lyrics, he talked about how, and I'm talking about Biggie, there was a particular piece in his lyrics, he talked about how the woman looks so good, he'll give her daddy head. You remember that? Now, what kind of nonsense is that, bro? Biggie said that. Biggie said, shorty looks so good, he would give her father head. Now, you tell me, how many of you brothers approve of what he said? You tell me, how many of you brothers approve of a man saying that he liked the way a woman looked so bad, she looked so good, that he'll sing on her daddy's mic? Come on now. They already had this thing planned out from back then, bro.
The girl go to the scene when Busta's talking to her at the bar.
Now notice, Busta was talking to her. Biggie got Busta out of the way so he could talk to her. And the whole time these brothers are doing this, they already know who this person is. They know. It's not like they didn't know. They all know. But when it comes to getting that money, when it comes to getting that check, you got to compromise all your morals, values, everything. That's just the way it goes, bro. Make sure you hit that like button, fam. We breaking it down. Let's get back to the tapes.
And Big walk up and move the nigga. And then, or when she say true, stop it right there and look at the knot in her throat.
Not the knot in her throat. Talking about this young lady?
That's her. Look at her, zoom in on the throat.
And think about this. All the men in the club is talking to her. They're not talking to no other woman. They're talking just to her. So when we look at fast forwarding it into the 2000s, we see situations with this individual named Cindy Starr. Cindy Starr. Remember the controversy between Sydney Starr and rapper Chingy? You remember that? There's a clip where Sydney Starr was in Manhattan walking around and you had a bunch of ninjas feeling up on her butt. See, it all started from the Biggie video. So what happened is a lot of the youth, they're not equipped with the knowledge of understanding the difference. So now you got many men in today's day that as long as it appear like a woman, they're willing to get with the person. This is why you had what's the DJ name? Is it Mr. C? I'm not sure if it's Mr. C. If it's not, you could correct me if I'm wrong. But he was caught driving around trying to find some rainbow. And he got exposed. And everybody got love for the DJ. But when the truth came out, it shocked a lot of people. So it was Mr. C. Okay. And he got caught multiple times. He couldn't help himself. He couldn't help himself. Because the industry brought him to an all-time low, to the point where he had to hide his life in the shadows. And he got caught. And Funk Flex tried to defend him. Funk Flex tried his best to protect his image, but it was too late. And what this shows is you got a lot of people in the industry that was defending Mr. C, and you got to question them too. Doesn't matter how much of a great DJ they are, fam. You got to question who they are too. Why you defending him? Funk Flex, why you defending him? See? Let's get back to the tapes, man. I'm trying to break this thing down for y'all, fam. I'm trying to break it down. Let's go.
Say true. Stop it right there and look at the knot in her throat.
Not the knot in her throat. Talking about this young lady?
That's her. Look at her. Zoom in on the throat.
Women can't have...
It says it all right there, fam. Come on now. It don't take a rocket scientist to figure this out, fam. And this is just one of many videos, man. Ain't no telling how many videos we done saw where you have women, or what we think is a woman, and they shaking their behind, and we there looking at the screen, and we there lusting and thinking all sorts of thoughts, and the whole time, bro, we're literally tapping into energy that we're not supposed to be entertaining.
Hello, is that like
Her name is Shamika. She was from Queens and she got killed because she was a nigga who was dating her, didn't know it was a man, and went to have sex with her and found out she was a man, and she's dead and he's in jail.
So you know the story. So when you see that, are you alluding to they sprinkle it in there? They subconsciously make you comfortable with it?
Bro.
Because that is weird for, not to say weird as a derogatory, but it doesn't make sense why that scene would be in a hip-hop video when hip-hop was so much about masculinity and da-da-da-da.
And it was supposed to be homophobic, right? So they say, right?
Right. But we weren't thinking about transgenders back then.
But they're there.
Notice what he just said. Back then, we weren't thinking about those things. I would have never thought that was the case back in the day. Nah. And they were demonizing rappers back then. calling them all sorts of stuff, saying they hate this and hate that. And the whole time, if that's true, how did that get into the video? See, when they were saying that certain rappers is homophobic, right? Those rappers that they were targeting were the kind of rappers that were, I guess, fighting against the agenda or giving pushback. That's why they would target those rappers, to make the industry look at them like, hey, those rappers not wanting to comply, or they don't want to put certain people in their music videos. So it would affect their careers. This is why a lot of rappers didn't make it in the industry. A lot of y'all been wondering why this rapper fell off and why that rapper was a one-hit wonder. Because they were wondering what would happen to them if they were to bend over. A lot of rappers had to bend over. A lot. They had to bend over in the industry. They don't tell you. It's just like you at the 9 to 5 right now. You at the 9 to 5 trying to do your job, and you trying to get the promotion as a woman. And your supervisor's like, look, we'll give you the promotion, but I'm gonna need you to, take care of me real quick. What? What is that called? Quid pro quo or something along them lines, if I could remember from the 9 to 5 days. In other words, you do something for me, I do something for you. So in other words, hey, you want that promotion? You got to give me some head. And I'll guarantee you that promotion. If you're a woman and you got some person at your job trying to do that, you better report them to HR. You better report them quick. And it can happen to men too. You got female supervisors and people in high positions in the workplace that are women and would tell a man, if you want that position, that job, yeah, you qualify, but I'm not going to give it to you unless you do this for me. I need for you to sleep with me and my friend. Matter of fact, me and my friend, the other lady that work upstairs in the upstairs department, I need for you to eat our cereal. Y'all all know what I mean. Come to the office, eat our cereal together, right? And we'll definitely make sure you get that job. There's a lot of guys that endured that because they're afraid of, what's that word I'm looking for? Our retaliation from supervision. In other words, if I don't do it, they're gonna make my stay at the job difficult. So in the 9 to 5, there's a lot of dirt that go on too, just like in the industry. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Let's get back to the tapes.
So they say, right?
Right. But we weren't thinking about transgenders back then.
But they're there. Okay. What I believe is that the Tupac Biggie got so gangster and so big that the agenda that they was about to push on us, that they later pushed on us, it just got pushed back. They was getting ready to groom us right there. They was grooming us. We got a transgender in the Big Papa video in the bathroom and the lead woman. Not only in Big Papa, right, and Warning, she's in the bed with Biggie.
Are y'all seeing this, fam? And y'all told me that Biggie never was with it. Fam, y'all better listen, man. It don't get no more real than this, bro. They already got big, bro. Matter of fact, there's clips. I have to go find it, man. There's some old clips where you see P. Diddy very, very close up on Biggie. And the way them two is vibing together, fam, it's like a dude and his woman. You got to see it to understand, man. Like, image is everything. They could make you look one way in a video, like a pimp, like you're a player, and the whole time it's a different type of energy they really putting out there, man. This is why Suge Knight at the awards said, if you don't want your executive producer all up in the videos, come to death row. And everybody got mad with Suge and thought that he was hating on New York or whatever the case is, and that wasn't the case, they already knew that Diddy was dirty. They already knew. That's why when you had videos with him and Mace, they would wear these outfits, these questionable outfits. Come on now, y'all gonna act like y'all ain't see those outfits with Mace, those shiny, weird looking outfits. Like, come on now. Nobody in the hood wore that. So what were they really trying to communicate? These rappers would wear certain things in these videos like that you would never get caught with wearing in the streets. So who they were trying to target? What community were they trying to how can I say, entertain? Think about that now. Think about all the women they could have used in the world for the Big Papa video, but this is what they did. Let's go.
And then in the Flavor in Your Ear remix, she's dancing behind LL.
Right.
Again, LL been compromised, y'all. Check it out. Let's bring it out. Let's go.
Warning, she's in the bed with Biggie. And then in
Check it out.
Flavor in Your Ear remix, she's dancing behind LL.
Dancing behind LL. LL been compromised, y'all. I mean, do we need to bring out more receipts, bro? Are y'all gonna believe me yet? I told you about the industry. Hassan told y'all about the door, and I believe it was Nori. And then you had what's this guy named? The Rainbow guy, the one everybody was calling a snitch. What's his name, man? The colorful dude, man. He just wear nothing but rainbow colors all day, man. Tekashi. Tekashi talked about these issues too. Tekashi said, look, they own you in the industry. He said they own you so much so they tell you what to put on your social medias. They'll say, take that down. They control you. He made it very clear. Now, you might say he a snitch or whatever the case is, but there's certain interviews where Tekashi break down the industry and he spits some real stuff. No cap. He tell you some real stuff that's going down, and you could tell that he been through a couple of things. And you probably wondering, well, why he wear all this rainbow stuff and why he do this and why he do that. I think he do it because he understand the business. Now, you got to understand where I'm coming from when I say he understand the business. He know what that rainbow represent, and he know what kind of audience will begin to, I guess, support him because of his colorful attire. And even though his lyrics may not coincide with certain communities and certain things, it's still entertaining. So he'll be able to benefit financially by projecting that image to keep himself off the radar, if that makes sense. Because a lot of rappers in the industry, they gotta walk on eggshells. Like, really? Like, you ain't gonna get the movie deal unless you bend over. You ain't gonna get the promotion unless you take some pipe, unless you put on a dress, or even if what is this other producer name? Pharrell, right? I think he got a deal with Louis Vuitton. I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. But they let him put on certain type of clothing that is for women. And you'll see him wearing it and you're like, what's going on with this dude, bro? But he's making money. I believe he's some sort of spokesperson for the company, so he's making a lot of money. But that's the price to pay if you want to make money. You got to go down that path and you got to walk through that door. That's just the way it goes, right? So now let's get back to the tapes.
Warning, she's in the bed with Biggie. And then in the Flavor in Your Ear remix, she's dancing behind LL.
Right.
And Hype Williams is director, and she's the lead in all three of those videos. And he's the director of all three of those videos. And his roommate, that was his chick. or a nigga or whatever.
Right. Okay. And we can leave people to maybe investigate more on this, but you're saying some stuff that does have me question, because I remember that scene, and I remember more so laughing at it because I thought it was like a joke as a youngster. Like, why is the lady she playing along? I didn't think that was the...
Yo, the same thing the brother man said right there is the same thing I thought when I was younger, bro. I thought it was just a woman in the bathroom in the urinal, just kind of playing around. You know what I mean? That's what I thought as a kid, man, as a young brother. I would have never thought that the whole time it was a different situation. I would have never thought that. But let's get back to the tapes. Let's go.
I think about it now in hindsight.
Right, and they was grooming with us. They was trying to groom us as a culture. Because right now, when you think of the LGBTQ community, who you think about?
I do think about us.
Black people.
Yeah, because
right?
they
How often do you see a white guy running around
on an ad and they market it in the hood.
Or how about Chinese people?
Right, that's a good point.
Do you see that?
No.
You don't see nobody else but us, fam. I saw a clip last night. You know, like how when you're just on Instagram, you just kind of just scrolling, things get thrown on your timeline. And I saw something, man, that just, it was just sad. It was sad, man. Very, very sad. I couldn't believe it, man. I would like to do a video about it, but at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? I'm not even gonna waste my time with it, bro, because it was too shocking. And you know how it is with social media and certain type of content, man. So I don't know. I might do a video about that, put it on Patreon. I don't know. Or I might just leave it alone, to be honest with you, because it was just bad. And it's like it involved our brothers, like the black man. And in the comment section, all you had was black women saying, what happened to our men? What happened to the brothers? And I came into the comment section and I said, what do you mean what happened to the brothers? This is what y'all wanted. What are you talking about? This is what you support. You get what I'm saying? Like, this is what you sisters support. But you saying, look what happened to our brothers, what happened to all the strong men. This is what you support. What are you talking about? And that's what got me disgusted about the situation, not necessarily the video clip that I seen, but what got me disgusted is the fact that the women were complaining about what happened to these men when they're the ones who actually support this. That's the part that got me disappointed, because it's like, when are we going to take responsibility for the things we support? You know? But anyway, let's get back to the tapes.
All right. How about the Indians? You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of Indian people out here. You know what I'm saying? You don't see them dressing, and it's us.
Yeah, I can agree that they have made us appear as the poster childs for it.
Think about this, guys. Think about this. I want y'all to think about this, right? Let's go down memory lane and see what's happening. See if Choke No Joke is wrong or if he's right. Right? Now think about what he said. I agree with him, right? But let's just look at a couple of things. D Wade, right? Look at how D Wade moved. I don't need to go into family details. I think you already know. But let's just look at him. Let's look at Dennis Rodman. Look at how they had Dennis Rodman wearing fishnet stockings, blouse, dresses. He would go on shows and literally be wearing heels, see-through lace pants, very, very questionable things, wigs, lipstick, nail polish, and they'll let him do this, right? You'll see LeBron in a skirt. You'll see Tyrese in a skirt. You'll see all these brothers in these films in skirts and dresses. All the comedians, all the greats, they're all in dresses and skirts. And when you look at other ethnic groups of men, you don't see that at all. Show me an NBA white man that you see doing any of these things. I'll wait. Do you see any? Show me a Asian man in the NBA, NFL, that's doing any of these things. Show me them. Where they at? You don't see it nowhere. This is the problem. Our people are on the front line doing all of these things. Only us. We're the ones doing it. So this is what Choke No Joke is saying, basically. We're on the front line, leading the charge. And this thing been pushed on us even from the Biggie song that they were pretty much talking. So LL been compromised from back in the day. Ain't no telling what he had to do. And you know, everybody loved LL. You know, back in the days, come on now, he a legend in the game. Everybody know that. But he had to do some compromising things, regardless, you know. Great rapper, actor. I mean, the list of accolades. I mean, come on now. Talented. But at the same time, a lot of these guys had to go through certain doors to make it in the industry. And they had to stay quiet. They had to stay quiet about it.
From the Saucy Santanas all the way down. You know what I'm saying? Like, and this dude, he got a beard and nails. Like, and you know what I'm saying? Like, he's stuck in between, you know what I'm saying? And that's his thing. But for us as black people, it seems like the black women, they love it.
Did you hear what he just said? He said the black women love it. And he's not lying. He's not lying, fam. Let's listen to that piece again right there.
But for us as black people, it seems like the black women, they love it. When we super feminine.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then they say it ain't no black men in the house. The black woman is the most unprotected, right? Mm-hmm. Well, y'all are encouraging the black men to be women.
Wow. He's right. He's right. Absolutely right. And it's clearly an agenda. Clearly an agenda. And it's sad that even from back in the day, we didn't even realize that about the Biggie video, man. That the whole time, that wasn't a woman. That wasn't a woman. And think about how many young brothers was like, wow, she's pretty. She looked good. And you wondering why we got all these issues today. It was being pushed on us from way back then, fam. And Diddy was a part of that. Diddy was heavily involved in the making of that video. Diddy. So he already knew what it was. He already knew what time it was. That's why I said Biggie been compromised from day one. Yeah, Biggie was a great rapper, talented. Everybody was saddened when he got killed because we know that if Biggie would have been here to this day, man, he'll be killing the game right now. We all know that. But at the same time, he was compromised from back in the day. He was definitely compromised. If you're now joining in, we're looking at an interview, I believe it's from the Comedy Hype channel featuring Choke No Joke. And he was sharing his story regarding Diddy basically hitting on him and some other, I guess, executives or whatever the case is, trying to shoot their shot and whatnot at parties and some real crazy stuff. And he broke down some interesting details about the Big Papa video. And it's like, when you look back at it now, like if you were to go back, matter of fact, if you go search for the video on YouTube and you go look at it, like I'm gonna go do that after this stream, just to look at the video to see like wow, when you were younger, you really didn't see certain things. And like I said, I thought that was a woman that was just playing around in the video, you know, acting like she's in the urinal, but the whole time that was not a woman. You get what I'm saying? So Diddy was pushing something on the people. He knew, because he had to authorize everything. Just like when you get a fine sister to do a music video, they audition these women from head to toe. They look at these women. Okay, she got to be a certain height, certain body type, certain weight. She have to have pretty face, pretty toes. Everything about her got to be nice. They look at these women from up to down, boom, boom, boom. And then they pick, okay, select her, select her, select her. So if they got the woman for the Biggie video, they already knew what it was. They already knew what it was. Right? So that had to been something real, because again, if you look at the tape, look at it.
We wasn't paying attention. But if you go and you look at the Big Papa video, the lead woman or the lead guy in that is a transgender.
You see what I mean? And we didn't know that because back then, a lot of us was kids or teenagers and we didn't know. You know what I mean? Or you were like in your late teens. Even if you were in your late teens, I'm not talking about kids like, you know, like some little boy or whatever. I'm 47 years young. But my point is, we were either teenagers, still like late teens, early 20s. We weren't really thinking about, oh, that's a dude or this or that. We weren't thinking about none of those things. We were just enjoying the music. But now that you think about it, all of those dudes that were in the video, they knew. So they all been compromised. Because they could have said, hold up, fam, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. Nah, they wanted the check. They wanted that check. That check was very important. Listen, people, I'm going to tell you straight up and down, fam. Back in the day, I know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? I had opportunities to have a major distribution deal, and I turned that down because I saw some things. And I'm telling you, bro, it is so easy to get pulled in because the money get thrown at you. Money, I'm talking about big money. Not no little money, big money. And everybody's ready to give you money so that you can sell your soul and compromise yourself. And a lot of things they do, they try to change you up in the industry, change you up completely to the point where you don't even know who you are anymore. They'll want to change your name, change the way you dress, change your style to fit what they want so they can market it to the world. So now if Biggie's video had questionable things in it, how many other music videos that was done back then that we just didn't catch? We probably got to do an internal investigation on hip hop from the 90s. Because a lot of times when we saw all the women in the background, we thinking, yo, these videos is popping, go all the women in the background. You don't know who's who. You really don't. You don't know who's in those videos now. Now you're gonna have to go back and look at all of P. Diddy's videos and be like, oh, snap, look at that. Oh, wow, look at that. Yo. Ain't no telling what you're gonna find. Right? So, hey, man, we're gonna get up on out of here. If you're new to the channel and you like my work, subscribe to the channel. If you feel this video was good, had some information, entertaining, whatever the case is, consider clicking the like button. That supports the video and the algorithm. Right? We're gonna have more content coming up with Diddy and this entire investigation and various stuff. When you watch my content, it's different from other YouTubers. I bring you real information. I break down the videos. My reaction videos are official. It's not like other people, and when they do reaction videos, they just kind of let the video play all day and they just sit there like this. That's not a reaction video, fam. You got to break it down. And I think we did that in this video here. So Diddy's dirty. A lot of people are coming forward to share their testimony and story. We have a lot of videos to cover. There's a lot of news. I got to go into the, I believe it's a 14-page indictment. I'm not sure exactly what it is. I got the document. I got the PDF file. You probably already heard all the news about it, but you ain't hear my breakdowns. So I'm going to pretty much be breaking down all the news, all the interviews, everything involving P. Diddy. I'm breaking it all down, right? So look out for another one. We'll be back later on. All of you have a blessed day. It's 9:32 a.m. And shout out to everybody that rock with the platform, all the truck drivers, all the delivery men, everybody at the 9-to-5 grind. Whether you own a 9-to-5 or just out hanging with your family, chilling at the crib, just doing your thing. I appreciate all of you coming through, stopping by. Salute to Choke No Joke and Comedy Hype for the content, because when you have these type of interviews and stuff, it makes for good content to teach and share your insight about different issues with the people. And it is something that we all need to know, because with what's going on with Diddy right now is he's getting his karma because of all the people he wronged over the years. There's a lot of people he did dirt to, man. A lot. And when you have money, man, it's easy to do dirt, but it comes back. What's done in the dark always comes to the light, no matter what you think. So if there's anything that we can learn from Diddy, is we got to really watch what we do in the dark, because you might not have Diddy's money, but what you do in the dark is going to come back to the light. So you got to really think about your decisions. Don't be out here wronging people, doing dirt, and not expect that's not going to come back. It's going to come back. And when it come back, it's going to be serious, because the devil coming now for payment from Diddy. He destroyed a lot of souls. He destroyed families. He's ruined lives. You had a lot of people that lost finances. Look at all the bad deals he gave rappers and singers and R&B cats. Look at a horrible deal he gave 112. Look at all the horrible 360 deals all these rappers been stuck in, not able to take care of their families. Look at all the rappers that was under Bad Boy that are dead, and their families don't got nothing. They don't got nothing to stand on. Why? Because Diddy was able to capitalize off of these people. He used them. He's a vampire. You understand? Diddy's the culture vulture. That's right. He's the culture vulture. Yeah, he looked like us, but he destroyed the culture. The whole time he out here doing these songs, he was destroying young ladies, destroying the brothers, and poisoning the youth, making us feel like it's all one big party. And now look at us. We're in a mess. It was so bad, Mace had to go be a pastor to try to get away from Diddy. He had to go to the church and try to mimic Creflo Dollar, who is another pimp. Creflo Dollar is a pimp, a pulpit pimp. And Mace tried to follow his footsteps to fleece the flock. In other words, he was fleecing the flock in the industry, and then he went to the church to rob the people. All of these people are criminals. The pastor's a criminal. T.D. Jakes is a snake. Diddy is a dog. All of these people going down. Period. Rate, comment, and subscribe. Ringo TV. Reactions. We out. Peace.
If you like our content, consider supporting via Cash App at $Ringo TV Raw. Become a patron on patreon.com for exclusive video content not shown on YouTube. You could also support through PayPal at paypal.me/Ringo TV Raw. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the bell to be notified of new content. Follow me on Instagram at Ringo TV Raw.
This is Ringo TV Reactions,
The only channel on YouTube bringing you the truth 100% raw and uncut. I'm out. Peace.